Very good afternoon to all of you. Let me welcome all of you in the third batch of International Faculty Development Program in managing stress, teaching and learning during this period of social distancing. I am extremely thankful for all of your active participation, and this is the third batch in a row, and earlier two batches were grand success. Keeping this in mind, we have still launched the fourth batch and we got a very good response. The whole purpose of this particular FDP to have some understanding about the current challenges in the teaching learning process and how we can effectively sail through this unprecedented time. I request all of your support to make this FDP a grand success. Thank you once again, and very good afternoon. This particular FDP is jointly organized by MTC Global Bangalore, Dhaka International University Dhaka, one of the prestigious private universities in Bangladesh, and Knowledge Café Bangalore. Today's FDP, I have divided into few focus areas to ensure that whatever mentioned in the information brochure, we meet that expected outcomes. The first focus area of today's FDP is in-depth analysis of present situation and its impact on education sector. Now, this is an unprecedented time we all are sailing through. It's a tough time. We all are at home, and those who are teachers and even from the corporate, we all are engaged online and meeting our day-to-day activities. Most of the colleges, even schools, the teachers are engaging classes online. Now there are different platforms. I think maybe there are some sound issues. Just let me have a look at it. Okay. Now there are different challenges at present. And yesterday I was going through a newspaper. I could see that the government of Tamil Nadu, the Directorate of Technical Education, they have approved Moodle as a software to engage the students. I think Moodle is a learning management software which is very effective and it's available free of cost. All of us can log in there and upload our PPT and the videos, and students can get access. Now on the similar line, there are multiple platforms are there wherein we can make use of effective teaching learning process. Now let us have a look at it. Now this is a new normal. Now if I talk about the present situation, as of now, the government has clearly mentioned that we need to live with this kind of situation because coronavirus, as WHO said yesterday, it is going to be there for next 2 years minimum. So I think we all need to live with this new kind of challenges, with the new types of situations, and maintain social distancing and ensure that we all stay safe and stay healthy. So this is an unprecedented time, and especially all sectors. If you look at the education sector, not only the education sector, the biggest hit is the manufacturing sector, and the similar line, the travel and tourism industry, I think under major threat. The hospitality industry is under major threat. There are countries in the world which completely depend on the revenue generated from the tourism. There is an island called Macau. Macau has no industry, nothing. Its complete revenue comes from the tourism industry. Similar way, if you look at Singapore, if you look at Thailand, Malaysia, all these countries, major income is generated through tourism industry. And tourism and travel industry is the second industry in terms of revenue generation after IT enabled services industry. So that industry is a major hit, and we don't know how long it will take to come back to normalcy, especially for those particular industries. Government of India few days back has announced 20 lakh crore package as an economy booster. And major focus area once again is the agriculture sector, the concern of the farmers, the migrant laborers, and the MSME industry, which is a major hit. MSME industry in India is responsible for around 70 to 80% of the employment generation. If that industry is a major hit, we don't know what will happen. And today in newspaper, there is a news like Uber, and they have said that 30% they are laying off the employees, and rest of the employees, they have to get 50% of the salary for next few months. There is a company called Uran. It's a B2B company in Bangalore, and this company has laid off around 3,000 employees. So this is a very, very tough call. And even there is a news that the most of the top companies which offered placement for ITs and IIMs, 30% of them have withdrawn the offer. So we don't know what will happen once we come back to complete normalcy. Especially for the student placement, engineering and MBA placement is under serious threat. But all that not bad. Yesterday in Mumbai, Times of India, there is a good news, and I think many of us must have read it also. The Asian Paint is the one company in this difficult time, they have raised the salaries of the employees. I think that's a good hope. But on the similar line, most of the companies, they're going for cutting the cost, and the cutting the cost, the one simple way is to reduce the fixed variable cost that the employee's salary. I think even the same kind of effect we can find out in academia also. I'm aware of some schools which are laying off, schools are not paying salaries of the teachers, and our Honorable Education Minister has said, Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal, that the schools, especially the primary and secondary education, they will operate with 30% capacity in the shift. Now, when the schools operate in the shift, I think number of teachers required will be less, and definitely the schools will go all out to ensure that they go for laying off some of the teachers. I think this is a very, very tough time, especially for the teaching fraternity, not for the teaching fraternity, even from the corporate, there is a layoff, there is a salary cutoff, and a lot of other challenges we all are going through. But we need to accept the challenges, and we need to find out, is there any possibilities? All challenges comes with some kind of opportunities and the possibilities. But this particular, the COVID-19 is a different kind of virus. Many have compared this with AIDS, many have compared with Spanish flu, but those are different. But this virus is such a complex and goes under mutation very fast. So that's why most of the scientists and the doctors are not able to find out a solution. They don't know that today if they find out any vaccines, if virus goes under mutation in next 1 or 2 days, whether that vaccine will be really effective for the patients or not. But still there are good hopes. We have read that in US, the federal drug, FDA, they have approved, Federal Drug Agency has approved remdesivir as an injection to treat the coronavirus patients. And it is proven that with this particular injection, the drug, patient gets recovery very, very fast in 3 to 4 days. And Indian government has also advised the Indian pharmaceutical companies to develop this particular drug. So there are a lot of positive news as well. And Oxford University, all of us aware that they have developed a vaccine, they have given the human trial also, and that vaccine is under mass production even in Pune. I think so. A lot of good news, a lot of positive things are also there. But especially for the teaching fraternity, I think we are going through a tough time. And it was there in the newspaper, a lot of funny news also, why teachers are hesitating to take classes online, right? Because sometimes what happens, along with the students, their parents also come and sit in front of the webinar and try to judge the teachers. And some students are so funny, they put teachers in very, very tough time. And obviously there are multiple issues, especially if I talk about like bandwidth issue, and obviously the power supply is another no big problem. In some parts we don't have, at the time of classes we don't find that there is electricity supply. So given the situation, but whatever situation, right, what Winston Churchill said, whatever we have, whatever resources we have, we need to ensure that we optimize the uses of those resources. I think that is exactly what management is. Now, the admission, I think, is a big challenge. I was participating in one webinar in admission, and most of the colleges, those are used to, I think all colleges since last year, they were used to the conventional modes of the admission or reaching out to the prospective students in terms of flyers, in terms of newspaper advertisement, in terms of some kind of exhibition or education fair, or through their franchisee or consultant. I think those kind of things this year are not in place. So admission is a big challenge, but at the same time, the quality will survive. Definitely the institutions which have good quality, which have good reputation, will sail through this difficult time. That's why we teachers always give focus on quality education. Quality education is very, very important. I think that's one part we need to take care. I heard that many institutions, they are doing online quizzes, they are giving multiple scholarships, they are doing reduction in the tuition fees to attract the students for the admission. But given the challenges, if you look at the students' profile of any institution, especially in Bangalore, Pune, or Mumbai, we find out that there are many students, hundreds of students, those who come from other parts of India, especially if I would like to mention the northeastern part of the India, Seven Sisters state. I think the mobility of the students this year will be a big challenge. Nobody would like to move his or her own place and going for education to a different state and take some kind of, because this perception is very, very high. So most of the institutions, they need to depend on the students from surrounding areas or from within the state. I think that's another big challenge we have. If you look at internationalization of higher education, it was there in the newspaper. Every year, around 1 lakh students, they go abroad for the higher studies. I think these students and the funds which is going in terms of admission fees and other expenses connected with the overseas studies, these funds also will stay back in India, and the students will have lot of students in India, especially this year and coming few years. But having said that, as I said always, and all of us teachers were aware of that quality will be the winning mantra. The institutions having good quality, having good placement record, having good teachers profile, good teaching learning processes, and other kind of support mechanisms will sail through this difficult time. The cost estimation, time and again, we're saying this is one factor, the sustenance, the financial sustenance of the institutions. But once we say the financial sustenance of the institutions, at the same time, the financial sustenance of the faculty, the financial sustenance of the parents, also very, very critical. Many parents, those who are working in the industry, okay, they have not got their salaries, there is a pay reduction, and so it's a very tough time, how really they will pay the fees for their words. So I think the institutions need to find out innovative ways to address this kind of problem. They can go for some kind of pay later mechanism wherein students can take admission now and they can pay later. I think we need to be creative. we need to be innovative in this difficult time, and we need to have human approach to address this kind of unprecedented complex situation, which is going to stay for some more time. The focus area 2 is teaching learning during lockdown, which I was talking about. Yesterday, one of my friends was talking about how we can conduct the laboratory classes, especially for the engineering students. And I think that's a big challenge. We cannot simulate exactly the learning, what can be done inside a laboratory. But having said that, there are many companies which develop e-labs. IIT Delhi, they have e-labs in multiple disciplines, and there is a software called Electra software, wherein no computer programming, no even without going to computer lab, if students they do the programming by pressing the key, the noise of the sound of the beep sound of the keys, the teachers at the other end can make out whether he is doing correct or not. So there are some kind of this kind of technologies are available, but we cannot replicate the real-time learning inside the lab over the internet. But having said that, in last session, in the last session we had last week in the batch 2, there were some very genuine questions, right? One question was in the rural India, especially in the rural India, especially they have the multiple challenges, right? They have the multiple challenges in terms of internet connection, and many students, those who are there in their native, they may not have the smartphone. I think given this kind of situation, how we can reach out to those students, I think that's a real concern for all of us. But I have seen that some colleges, what they're doing is they have given the permission to their faculty members to call over the phone to the students, those who are staying in the rural areas, speak with them, okay, try to find out their problems, or send some assignments over SMS services and get connected with that. If you look at the profile of any class, we'll find out there are some gifted students, meritorious students, there are some moderate learners, and we'll find there will be few slow learners. So I think slow learners, especially, we need to take care. If you have already identified this set of students, I think it would be easier for us teachers to reach out to those students over the phone and over the text message, and somehow give some assignments or clear their doubts or put them on the self-learning mode. I think we need to find out the ways, because there is no other way to reach out physically, right? So given the situation, given the kind of limitations already we have, we need to ensure that how we can reach out to the students. So let us look at the few bullet points in this particular focus area, teaching learning process. This here in online teaching learning process, I think none of us, including me, right, before this coronavirus, we were used to take classes online, okay? And initially there was a lot of hesitation as well, whether we will be comfortable to take online sessions, but it has become normal for all of us. Each one of us become very normal. Students, they have become very normal to attend the classes online. I think so online classes, they need a separate kind of preparation. I think here teachers' preparation is much more than conventional classes. In conventional classes, we say that to take 1 hour class, teacher has to prepare for 4 hours. I think here it is more in terms of hours, because we need to really make good notes, good handouts, good questions, review questions, and we need to give in advance to the students, so that students can come prepared. Students can come prepared, with their doubts, with their queries, and we teachers can address those queries and address those questions. I think that would be more effective instead of conventional method wherein we pick up the lesson plan, follow the lesson plan, take one module, go point by point. I think that particular mode may not be very effective over online. So the preparation is very important. Then tech savvy. I think all of us have become tech savvy, right? We have the Zoom we are using. Okay, there is GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar, there is a Google Meet. Okay, and there are so many technologies we have today. which no are mainly free. If you go for more numbers of participants, then only we need to pay. I think the technologies are there, and we have mastered the technology. So now only we need to ensure that whether we can connect with the students or not, because in the physical, no, in the conventional classroom setup, it's very easy to take the questions randomly from the students and address that. I think here that kind of flow or energy may not be there, right? So that's a genuine. But given the limitations, I believe that no, there are ways to engage the students effectively, and it's possible and it's happening. Now the another challenge is no, as we're taking the sessions from home, I think it's also very much required that we set up an adequate working environment at home. Because at home, see, at home, we may not have a exclusively separate room, no, as a library, many of us, or to take up the sessions. We cannot have the set up chair, tables, everything, no, like a office, know how we may not have it. But even given the situations, we need to find out a corner or a particular place wherein we can set up, maintain a good working environment, no sound, no kind of disturbances when we take up the classes. I think no, that gives us a perfect working environment. Innovate and stimulate the discussions. Other day in the batch 2, one professor raised very pertinent questions, especially for the MBA program. We do have a lot of no co-curricular activities, right? In terms of management games, role play, case studies, okay, syndicate services, okay, debate, group discussion. There are so many co-curricular activities which are very, very effective and which comes as add-on with each lesson to check whether students have really understood the concepts or not. Now, in this kind of situations, can we do it effectively? Probably not that effectively, but definitely we can do it because there are video case studies are there are audio case studies are there. Okay, we can use the community learning environment using Facebook group, WhatsApp group. No, there are so many tools are available. Probably we can find out innovative ways to engage the students. And simulation also is very, very effective. Communicate regularly with the students. I think here it's very important that we don't detach with the students. In the colleges, no, we always connect with the students every day physically. But here, as we are delivering the session over the net, so it's become mandatory how we can regularly make the connections or communicate with the students, check their understanding level, try to find out, because the regular counseling, what we do, academic counseling or psychological counseling, mentoring part, after the class hour in the colleges, I think that part probably we are missing in online teaching learning, but which is very, very effective, right? Which is very, very effective because what teachers play a role of a mentor, not like delivering the lesson plan or the session. So I think that part, to ensure that that part happens, we need to communicate with the students regularly, motivate your students. Many teachers they have raised the concern that students, they don't attend classes in webinar regularly, or sometimes students, they will switch on and they will not be sitting in front of laptop or the mobile phone, and they will just go off and we can't make out whether students really present or not. I think, see, there will be challenges even in the conventional classes. There will be some mischief, there will be some naughty students. So that will be always the case. So we need not know much bother about that set of students, but definitely we need to encourage them, we need to inspire them, motivate them. Other day in one of the webinars, one of the participants was talking about, see, today's students, they have become so much motivated, inspired. They are able to learn through webinar. They are able to Google, search through different platforms, collect the information, doing self-study. I think that's the real learning happening. I said, oh, see, that's the no major difference between education and the learning. Okay, education is just going to colleges and go through whatever is there in the textbook. prepare for the exam and get a good grade. But learning happens, learning happens in unstructured, learning happens in unstructured way. If a person is seriously interested, to learn something, I think that person can learn. And there are, no, there are ample examples wherein, people have learned even without going to an academic institution. Now, if learning and education goes hand in hand, I think that's the perfect combinations. And we all are teachers are aspiring to have that kind of ecosystem in our campuses wherein education and learning happens hand in hand. Now the focus area 3 is about. Now let me take a pause and just try to find out whether no really I'm audible or not, because I'm not sure. So I'm just putting all of you in unmute position. Okay.
Yes, you are audible. Audible, sir. Audible.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. So, with your permission, again, I am putting all of you in the mute position so that we can continue. Because technology platform, it's very difficult to find out whether really I am audible to all of you. Thank you so much for your consent. So, let me just go ahead with the focus area 3. The foundation, a flexible mindset and realistic expectation. I think that's one area is very, very important. We need to have a positive attitude and a flexible mindset. There are multiple challenges we all are going through, and it's very difficult to keep our focus because in family, we have our full family members, our kids are there at home. Sometimes they make a lot of demands from all of us. We need to give them time for their play, for their drawing or fun or for the lessons. So a lot of things are there. But we need to keep our attention, keep our focus levels, and spare some time for our own research and the study and the preparation. I think okay. The classes will not continue seamlessly. What I was referring to in the beginning, but here some mobile phone can be very, very useful. There are many companies which offers classes in mobile applications. I think that's one area. Also, there is a huge scope wherein a lot of companies or entrepreneurs can come out with new ideas how education can be imparted effectively using mobile technology. Online learning can feel isolating and lack the warmth of a busy classroom. I think that's one part. Many times this online learning, many times we find out that the online learning is very, very isolating and the boring because similar like students they don't feel the warmth of the teacher or the fellow students. We teachers also miss their physical presence. We are sitting in a room and we are delivering the session without the physical presence of anybody. I think this is a very tough call. But having said that, I think by this time we all are used to this kind of situation. What I was referring to the last point, if the policy allows individual calls and check-ins to support struggling students, that's the slow learners, how we can ensure some remedial classes for them, some special tutorials so that they can come up. If you look at even in the conventional classes, in a normal setup, the gifted students or the star students, okay, they always perform by themselves. They are the best self-learners. They learn by themselves. Maybe sometimes they find some problems wherein they come to teachers and find out. The problems with the moderate and especially focused segment is the slow learners. I think this particular segment, if you can identify properly, I think we can address their concern even using technology as well. The focus area 4, the leverage the power of community. I think that's very, very important. At MTC Global, we believe in the principle of share, care, and learn with our vision of educate, empower, and elevate. This is a community, and as a community, we have a huge human resources, team of human resources, over 30,000 people representing academia and industry in 30 plus countries. So that's the kind of resources we have, and we have regular lot of deliberations and lot of learning happens. It's like no regular development program. Learning and development is happening continuously over our platform. There are so many other platforms, the community platforms are there, and I'm sure that each one of us must be using this platform. The one is blog. I was reading one of the papers, and they mentioned that night today. I know, and I believe that all of us were that to present to publish a paper in Scopus Index, right? Some publishers are charging very hefty amount, 10,000, 15,000, amount kind of thing. Elsewhere, and ABDC journal publishing papers has become very, very tough. But the day is no far, and let me tell you very openly, the day is not that far where all these publications will not have any kind of market value, because blog is slowly taking the space. The open source journal, the white papers, the blog. See, the main idea, the main idea is whatever publication we have, the real research output that we need to spread among the people across the world, and that can be effectively done by using blog and various other open source platform. You can reach out, and that has become a new trend, right? Now we have the Facebook. Now many people have seen that they use Facebook very, very judiciously, and they want to spread, they want to connect with the people, they want to spread knowledge. Okay, I think a lot of learning happening in Facebook. Some serious people, okay, they do a lot of good stuff. Even Facebook, there are different groups are there, communities, Facebook page, which exclusively dedicated to some education or in some other interest areas. And there are a lot of learnings, right? In LinkedIn group, okay, some of the LinkedIn group have become very, very popular. They have their own programs, own certifications, and a lot of other stuff they have. And they're able to connect with the people and able to transfer the knowledge and information among its community members. Then we have the Google group, we have the Yahoo group. I think WhatsApp group is very, very popular. And a lot of learning is happening today using the WhatsApp group. Even the teachers are sending study materials, the study notes using the WhatsApp group. Even video can be shared, 4 or 5 people can be connected in a small group over the video chat. I think technologies, Facebook has recently launched, they want to come into the video conferencing. In Messenger, you can connect, you can use the video conferencing, some kind of meeting you can host even in the messengers. I think that's a huge market opportunities are there for technology firms. I was reading one article, and it was about, see that if we talk about the teaching learning, the ultimate, the final outcome, okay, especially definitely it's the knowledge or the ability and the skill sets, whatever you say, the students they possess at the end of their programs. But what happens then? Then comes your placement. If a college is good, the placement must be good. Is it not? It is connected, directly connected. Top premier institutions have top placements, right? So the placement may be some kind of visible outcome of different processes in any academic institutions. But today you look at the kind of market situations today. Placement is under serious threat. The freshers especially, they have to compete with the experienced people in the market, because a lot of people are laid off and they want to compete, and they're competing with the freshers. It's a new kind of situation. till last year in the placement, there was dream option, super dream option, so many different things. But today, I think there is no dream. Whatever job you have, the students, they must take up that job, get into the industry, get some experience, build network. Maybe next 6 months to 1 year, things will improve and they can get better positions. So today there is not much choice is there for the students. Very tough time for the placements. And but there are certain industries which are expected to boom post-COVID area. One is the technological sector, the IT industry, because today, whatever is happening, it's happening through technology. So technology industry, there is a real boom. Another industry is the healthcare and the pharmaceutical company, which is expected to boom in post-COVID area. And definitely the financial and the insurance sector also will boom. So these 3, 4 areas are expected to see a surge in the number of number of people required. But the employment will go up. But the other areas, it will take little time to get settled down and sell through, and probably then we can hope for the better career opportunities. But given the situations, I think today the students, we need to encourage the students, we need to tell them the kind of situations are there and how they can skill up, acquire new skills during this time, and find out what kind of industries will really there is a growth, and whether to enter that particular segment, what kind of skill sets are required, and whether they can pick up those skill sets during this no time of lockdown or being at isolation, being at home. The focus area 5 is the homework routine. Today there was no a discussion in our MTC Global platform, and yeah, no, it was very pertinent discussion. As we all work from home, so employer thinks that we are no 24/7. We are on the job. Anytime they send mail, that's the night 10 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, morning 6 o'clock, and they expect a reply. And they think that, okay, they are at home, so they are on the job. So this is also giving a new kind of no stress. It is also a new work culture which is not developing. And the home work routine, I think this is a new thing. But having said that, see, there is a lot of concern today. As we are working from home now, as UGC said that the new academic session will start from September 1st, right? For the new academic session, and the August the old batches will start. So when the new academic session starts, can the institutions have a mechanism wherein some of the staff still can take some sessions no, online? I think we need to prepare. We need to prepare for uncertain time. I think now TCS is the best example. It was there in the newspaper. TCS has said even we come back to normalcy, you start working, but then also 75% of the employees will work from home. And even I was talking about the Uber, which example I've given, that they have laid off 30% of their employees and 50% pay cut for the existing employees for next 5 to 6 months. And Uber has said that all employees will not come to the office for the work. Even things are normal, they need to work from the home. I think that work from the home is something. There are many activities which can be done even being at home over the net or using the video conferencing platform. I think there's a lot of cost cut, right? There's a lot of cost cut, and with less people they can do, and even in the workplace, the social distancing, right? I think that's the new concern. When the colleges will open, the schools will open, how we're going to maintain this distancing part, in the school and in the college. I think that's even in the faculty room, can we have an innovative structure wherein we can maintain 3-meter distance, and the students, can they maintain 3-meter distance inside the classroom, inside the bus? I think there are a whole lot of new challenges and all questions. I think the Ministry of HRD still has to come with the standing operating procedure for how the schools and the colleges will operate when they start working. So let us hope, and definitely we are hopeful that things will come back to normalcy, and we'll sail through difficult time. And we need to live with this no with this virus for some time until unless some vaccinations are developed, and across the world scientists are working, health workers are working day and night, and we are sure that some breakthrough will happen sooner than later. See, the new types of emergence of new type of worker. There is a World Economic Forum survey, and they said that by 2050 there will be a new kind of professionals. I think that's happening much before in 2020 only. They said that there will be more of freelancers and consultants. We'll work from the home. We'll use the flexi working hour. I think that's it. What is happening today? Now, if I look at the next point, it's the class in the cloud. The focus number 6 is class in the cloud. And I'm sure that all of us heard about the famous experiment by Professor Sogat Mitra in Mumbai slums, where he had given some laptops to the children in the slums and just let them freely with those laptops. And over a period of time, he could find out that children are able to use those laptops and some technologies and some elements to learn. I think that since then it was very popular, the class in the cloud experiments, and today we are doing it, right? The technology, as I was referring to in the beginning, we have the video conferencing tools, but at the same time, what as a teachers we can do, we can even record our videos, okay, pre-recorded video in a particular module or lesson plan, and we can upload. We can upload in the Moodle, even we can upload in our YouTube. Live session definitely more and giving and we can have good video with our project stories. Starting from our all Ivy League and other institutions across the world, all are using the online methods. And to connect with the people across the world. I think once again, here also the quality will survive. So everywhere, the end of the day, the quality plays very important role. When I used to teach full time to the MBA students, I used to tell to the students, see, today in this interconnected world, you can't say that you don't have any kind of opportunity and the privilege. I know people who are working as a freelance consultant, and these people are able to earn per hour $1,000, something like that. Okay, because of the reason they are highly expertise and skilled in their areas of working. I think this is a very level playing ground, and this is an equal opportunity platform wherein each one of us, I think the knowledge will supersede any other kind of things today. The companies today, see, in outcome-based education, we all are used to talk about, right, the day one skills and the generic skills kind of thing. That thing has come into play. Today, industry, they will look at day one skills. To join, no benching, no training, you should be able to deliver. I think that's the kind of challenges today's the workforce they have. They must meet the expectations. Industries will not bother about your qualifications, whether you are postgraduate, graduate, or PUC. Do you fit the bill? If students can meet their expectations in terms of expertise required, I think he or she can be recruited. There is no point to give higher salary to a postgraduate just because that person is a postgraduate. I think there's a lot of challenges, a lot of new things, a lot of new unexpected, all the management lessons and the philosophies and whatever you have studied, we'll find out there are new concepts are coming into place. The post-COVID, because survival, survival will be the biggest question post-COVID area, and industry need to survive. Mobile technology, more disruptions which happen, which I'm time and again. The point is, the last point, the point focus number 7 is the managing stress. I think as a teachers, we teach the same thing to the students about how to manage stress. I'm sure that each one of us are able to manage our lives, manage a balance, okay, among all different activities, right? Do some kind of exercise, cooking, whatever habit we have, singing, watching movie, taking classes, doing some desk research, writing stories, reading some good books. I think there are a lot of many of us have a lot of good habits or hobbies, especially if I would like to say, but we have never got enough time to put those hobbies in practice. I think this is a perfect opportunity for all of us. Whatever hobbies we have, we put in practice. And I know some of my friends, they have come out with some fantastic books during this last 2 months. Okay, I think those are very, very productive. I think we need to remain productive, right? Even we are at home, I think today technology is available, resources are available at home. Okay, so we need to find out the new ways and means to remain productive in our day-to-day activities. That's I was talking about the managing the stress, some kind of meditation, some kind of exercise, some kind of playing, TV watching, our hobbies, cooking, singing. Okay, whatever we have, we should not be idle at home. Some kind of physical activities are very, 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 very much required, right? Uh, now focus 8, and that's the last focus area is silver lining. All that is not bad. As a teachers, during this period of time, we got enough time to introspect ourselves. There are many people who have found out the new meanings of life. We have found out the new meanings of making relations, relation building. I think a lot of new things, a lot of new insights, okay, have come into the life of people. And people, I believe, they have become more human these days because of the no corona. Because the corona, it doesn't differentiate, among rich, poor, educated, uneducated, caste, creed, anything. I think this is all a level playing ground for all of us. There are a lot of hopes, and hopefully, we all will get back to normal life sooner than later. The kind of experiments, the kind of the efforts are being put by the healthcare professionals. A big salute to all the COVID warriors. I think definitely we are going to come back into normalcy very soon. So thank you once again. So we'll just open up for question answer probably. And so this is briefly about the today's International Faculty Development Program. We know there, as I said in one of the slides, that we need to be prepared. That was the main reason, why I had given some kind of handout beforehand, so that at least all of us can go through and come with some discussions. Probably, see, I may not be knowing the answer for many questions. Probably many of our colleagues which are present in today's FDP, they'll be able to interact and give answers to those queries. Now I'm just going to unmute all of you. Probably I know one by one. If you come, I think that would be okay, ma'am. Just I'll yes, Soumya ma'am, please.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good
A
afternoon,
very
ma'am.
informative session. Thank you so much for the awareness created by you, sir. I just have one question for you. If you can answer it, I would be very happy and delighted. I'm actually working as an assistant professor in Hyderabad for Srinidhi Institute of Science and Technology, and I deal for MBA students. So the basic impact of this lockdown situation is on the internship of the students basically, because during summer students normally take up a lot of internships, and that will actually give them hands-on experience and on-the-job training, which they are actually missing. So they are learning all theoretical aspects, but practically they have no scenario where they can implement all these case studies and all. So what could help them out?
Okay, thank you, ma'am, Soumya, ma'am. As I think that's a wonderful question, and it is a concern for all of us. And the ICT and UGC has said that all the students must do internship being at home, right? But there are some companies, you know, that AICT has a tied up with internsala.com, and they have some online internship also. But what would be the missing? See, any kind of internship before, there is two parts. One is organizational study, and the second part is the problem based study, right? So problem based study, we can do it being at home, like doing desk research with a kind of freelancer, right?
Yes.
Like many PhD research which is not done in the organization, right? It is done as a freelancer, sample they collect. Okay, similar kind of things, I think that part learning can happen. But what about the part one, being in organization, having observed the manufacturing process, meeting with the supervisor, interaction? I think therein we need some kind of simulation. But as I rightly said, the simulation is just simulation. It cannot be exact replicate of physical interaction. Now, given the situation, I think we need to ensure that, see, the best thing when the college starts working, college is also one kind of organization wherein human resources are there, different processes are there. The service industry, is it not? I think students can be put with the faculty and get some hands-on experience. I think in many colleges they have the student associate program, like Harvard they have, wherein some students will be attached with the faculty. They'll give some work, preparing lesson plan, this thing, that thing, so they get some hands-on experience. So, ma'am, we need to find out some or other ways, to fill this particular gaps, because the situation, is like this. We can't send students to the company. Thank you so much. So we have Jayashree, ma'am. Ma'am, very good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Fine, ma'am. Thank you so much for your presence. Nice to see
Oh,
you.
thank you. It's my pleasure.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, actually, I have two observations to make here. One is, in order to, you were telling that students were, when they are online, they keep their video and audio mute and they'll be out of the scene.
Yes, ma'am. Hello. Hello. Ma'am, I think you are stopped. I'm not able to hear you, ma'am. Please. Jayashree, ma'am, you are not audible. I think this is the no fallout of technology, and sometimes because of bandwidth issue, no, we are not able to hear properly, or there is some no connection problem. Ma'am was raising some very important uh, questions which got stopped in between. The next interjection, Dr. Murthy sir.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah. This is Dr. Ventus. Hello.
Yes, sir. I'm able to hear you. Tell me.
Yeah. So the thing is, if we can question ourselves ethically, we ourselves in the many conferences and all, and shared sessions also on the topic the impact of electronic gadgets on youth and all. So and then during those days, I mean, just before this lockdown period and all, we have had a lot of sessions and we have created awareness among the youths. We keep on telling no, don't use electronic gadgets and all. So and how it affects on their health and other things. Now it is the situation, so we ourselves have to adjust to the situation. So where we are moving towards. So what is the answer if the students replicate to ourselves? So what did you say yesterday and what you are doing today? So what may happen tomorrow? So and people, if we question ourselves, So the answer is simple. I know what wants the answer, what you can give it to us also. So we have to adjust to the situation, changing scenario, all these things. So is it the right answer, sir, for the teacher and student relationship, the bondage, the rapport between the two great personalities of the society? So is it okay what we have been doing it?
I think, thank you so much, sir, for a very relevant interjection. Same question in previous batch also, one professor raised. We used to tell to the students, especially the children, not to watch mobile for a long time, not to be in front of the screen because it may cause a lot of health issues, especially with the brain because the kind of radiations are happening. But today, we don't have any other choice other than the online teaching learning. We need to engage and see, I've been working continuously in front of the screen. Yesterday evening, I was having so much headache. I told to my wife, I want to lie down because tomorrow I have another session. I think these are the genuine teachers. That's the reason I think, I don't know, sir, what you rightly say is a kind of changing scenario and there is no other option. We are left with only this option. So as long we are there at home, being in lockdown situation, so let us make use of this platform. So probably when we come back to normal time, we can find out. No, that's what many questions are being raised today, sir, because this technology was available beforehand also. But in our curriculum, in our lesson plan, nowhere it was mentioned that 20% of the lesson must be taken using webinars or internet. Is it not, sir? No one have used it. I think probably, no, there is some missing link. And I believe that once we come back to normalcy, can we have some kind of scope in our lesson plan or the curriculum wherein some of the sessions can be engaged using the webinar to be ready for some kind of no uncertainties in the future. Thank you, sir. That's a wonderful interjection, and that's very common. I don't know what to answer because once we said you should not hang on, you should not get stuck into the mobile and should not be in front of the laptop all the time. But today, all of us in front of the laptop.
As I said,
Thank
we
you so
have
much.
adjusted to the industrial demands so far. Now we have to adjust to the technological demands.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, absolutely. Jayashree, ma'am, please. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, my phone. Actually, my network is connected to my phone. When I
Yeah.
got a call, I got disconnected. Sorry.
No problem. Thank you.
My
Yes.
observation was actually, in order to capture the attention of students who's on screen, we will have to mandate it as a recording session. And another one, we should inform them well in advance that the on-screen persons will be taken into consideration for their attendance purposes.
Oh,
So
ma'am,
these
that is
two may be.
no some engineering colleges wherein my friends are working in Bangalore. Okay, and I interacted with them, and they are saying that on the screen, how many students are there, attendance is being marked by seeing their names.
Yes,
So that's, I think, in many places in practice. But only thing, ma'am,
yeah.
in conventional methods, we used to take up the particular lesson, one particular unit, and we used to teach as it is there in the lesson plan. But I think in this kind of situation, we cannot follow that particular step. I think students need to prepare at home, only come with the questions and the inquiry, whatever doubts they have,
Yeah.
and we can interact.
Yes.
Because there is a limitation, ma'am. Sometimes bandwidth issues, sometimes electricity may go off, sometimes kids
Yeah.
may enter. No, it's happening. Sometimes kids may enter. My daughter only peeping through the door. Hello, father, shall I come? Come. I said, hold on. This kind
Yeah,
of.
that happens even in BBC
Yes.
and NDTV. There were occasions where some
Yes.
experts were talking online and their children were running behind.
Ma'am, this is very
That
common.
kind of situation happens. Yes.
No, what is
Then
happening,
one
ma'am?
more observation.
Yeah. Same situation, I just give little bit upbeat. See what is happening in some of the states, the government is telling that, no, you be on home isolation, okay, home quarantine.
Yeah.
Now, ma'am, in India, in one room, 4 to 6 people are, they are staying. How it is possible maintaining social
That's
distancing?
not possible.
Our socioeconomic structure is not like US and some developed countries. Home quarantine in India is not possible. So we have to live into the ground reality. And we need to accept the norms. Like I have only 2 rooms, right? My wife is there, my children are there, and their kids, they will definitely come. Okay, and so we cannot stop them, is it not? We don't have a separate room exclusively for taking this kind of sessions. So we don't have that kind of finance also to arrange that. Okay, these are truth.
Yes.
Okay, but having
But
this kind of limitations, what best we can do? Yeah.
some organizations have come across with one initiative, sir, to cope up with these kind of issues of their employees. They've come with some initiative called local community center.
Yes, ma'am.
Organizations for whom a huge number of employees are in one location, they need not be online. They go to the community center of the organization. So in the community center, they'll be doing their work, logging out, presence is recorded. Their work from home happens at the community center, and the community center will have online mechanism to provide them all the infrastructure.
Ma'am, I
That's
think
how some organizations
that is
are
the best
coming up.
example, because you are from the God's own country, Kerala, and I
Yeah.
read in newspaper some help groups, SHG, okay, some they are doing some community cooking and distributing
Yeah.
foods to the needy people. It was there in the newspaper and highly appreciated. That's the kind of
Yeah.
role model. I think Kerala is
That is-
leading in dealing with COVID-19, ma'am. Congratulations.
Yes. Oh, thank you. It's all in the hands of the government.
No,
Sir,
they are
one
doing
more
wonderful.
observation,
Yes,
which
ma'am.
I made with reference to health sector. You were saying health sector has got so much importance during these days. But on the other side, what we are able to see is some owners, the corporates, those who are running the hospital, their bad attitude also has come out, sir. Some of their staffs are treated very ill-treated during their infections. The nurses and doctors, those who got into that infection, are also treated like slaves. They were not even given enough security protection systems. They were not even given any medications, first aid help, even though they got infected by corona. These kind of attitudes also have come out from these occasions. So we
Ma'am,
are able to identify.
that's a ground zero reporting what you are doing. Newspaper agencies, they will say ground zero reporting. See, my own sister is a nurse. My own sister is a nurse in the government hospital in Calcutta. Being a nurse, she doesn't have PPE and any kind of, the protection equipment by the government. This is a ground zero
That's a
reporting.
real pity
And she is
situation,
talking
yeah.
every day. They are fighting with the corona. Okay, so I'm not talking, it's not an official, I'm just talking unofficial, but this is the truth. This is the truth. And healthcare industry for last 40 to 60 days, ma'am, the patients, they have not visited until unless it is a severe emergency. And these all pharmaceutical companies, drug companies, healthcare industries, they are running into crores of rupees of losses. And these industries, they are demanding some kind of financial boosting from the government. They will not be able to survive and take the burden. No, that's a very, very valid question. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your.
Thank you, sir.
You are one of our very senior member of MTC Global.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
That's
yes.
my pleasure too, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next question, please. Next question, please.
Hello, sir. Can I?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Murthy sir, please.
No, I'm just saying I'll take leave of you. I have to attend one more seminar now, please. It
Yes,
was
sir.
nice
Murthy sir,
program.
please.
Good. Yeah. I have to attend one more seminar now, which is going on, which is on project proposal and management. Please, I'm just saying that I will take leave of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes. Dr. Prasanna, please, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Tell me, sir.
Yes, sir. I raised some question because students are continuously watching the online classes and they are getting a lot of stress. Can this kind of situation, how far it is possible, sir? It is. You are saying till lockdown you have to be habituated with this particular thing. But in long run, how far it is possible, sir, to have
I think,
online classes and
I think Dr. Prasanna sir has raised a very, very valid question for all of us. We all are the party. How long? There's a lot of stress in online classes. Sir, for this particular session, since morning I was little bit thinking. Now today I have a session because I don't have a separate room to have this. So I have to arrange one table. have to arrange one table, take one no lamp, put this no at the back, okay, so that it looks real online class, little professional. No, that's a preparation. We all live in the limitations. Number one. The second point is, as you rightly said, that because see, previously, now only because of this particular coronavirus kind of things, we are coming into online. But there are many in the abroad, many universities wherein online session is a part of their regular teaching learning process. Is it not, sir? Because we are doing for the first time, so we are really getting isolated and stressed out. There is so much stress in the online class because we are not able to see you, not able to shake our hands with you, not able to touch you. We are seeing just like with one picture which is moving in front of my screen, and that itself is giving some kind of stress. Is it not, sir? So I think that stress will be there. But having said that, sir, challenges will be this. See, once we come back to normalcy, okay, that time also we should have at least 20 to 30% of the curriculum must be taught using the online method, so that this particular habit does not go off. But as of now, the famous saying, when things get tough, tough gets going. Sir, we have to make use of this. We have to make use of this moral boosters only, but it's a stress. Very genuine questions. And you are all under stress. We all under stress. Sir, we have to find out some ways to keep our motivations very, very high, positive energy. Okay, playing now. I started playing tennis with my daughter every day. I'll go after this session on the terrace and play. What to do, sir? Since morning only on webinar. I'm taking some sessions in Bangladesh in some universities wherein I go as a visiting professor. So there's a lot of stress. But sir, we need to respond to this kind of situation because this is a very unprecedented time. And not only teachers, see the case of migrant laborers, the outside, the daily wage earners, their situation is so tough. They are really struggling for food. But at least I think we are better off. We are blessed. No. Thank you so much, Dr.
Sir, are you saying that you should be a teacher also should be habituated to this particular system now onwards now?
Yes, I think 100%. Sir, this is a very particular question. See, today in the LinkedIn editor, I'll tell you, please don't feel bad anybody, because I'm just saying what is given out there. Even you can find out in LinkedIn editor, there is one particular news is making a lot of trending today. And it is there why teachers are so much under hesitation to go online. See, the problem is because what is happening in online, under a part of the faculty improvement program, I think it's a part of NB and the NAC also, wherein a new faculty put under orientations or the peer review, wherein directors or the senior professors come and teach in our classroom and try to monitor how we are performing in terms of what teaching, knowledge, depth, eye contact, whatever it is, right? And in some places, I know some business schools wherein a teacher give a lecture, their video is displayed in the corridor in the big screen. So there is a lot of opposition also. Okay, why is the live class are being screened? In some classroom, there is a webcam. Okay, so and teachers are telling that people are spying, management is spying on us. Many lectures were recorded to find out how was the delivery. So the challenge of online teaching is whatever we are talking, everything gets recorded. Everything gets recorded. So we have to be, sir, very, very careful. Okay, then people will know, like some criminal investigation, some news reporters and all, they will do some investigation, no? They will come, no, you said like this, professor, this is your video clip. Someone has recorded your video clip where you are live. You can't say it is mocked or something like that. So you have to be very, very serious. Okay, and in some places what happened, when teachers are teaching, the students along with the parents are also coming in the sessions, and parents are judging the teacher's lecture, and they are calling the schools and giving feedback. Especially it is happening for the schools. They are calling up the school management and telling that what your teacher is teaching. See the problem, sir. Multiple challenges are there, but what I'm saying, sir, your question is very, very relevant. This is going to be new normal. even we go back to normalcy, I think we need to maintain our presence. Even not the colleges are not supporting or any regulatory bodies are not supporting, but as an individual, you and me and others as an individual, we need to ensure that we maintain our presence online. We need to reach out to the people. We need to connect with some, no sir, colleges, overseas colleges wherein we can take some sessions, no online sir. We need not move. Why need to move, sir? Tell me. There is no need to move. See, conferences and seminars. Sir, I'll tell you one example with all of your permission. Conferences and seminars, hundreds of papers are being presented one day, 10, 11 tracks, and the presenters not getting time, 3-4 minutes time they're getting. What they're presenting, nobody knows, right? So that presentation can happen online. No, at least person can talk without moving, without taking OD on duty. On duty is a big problem. College don't fund your registration fees nowadays. College think it's not institutional development, it is your development. See, sir, I know the challenges. I am very, very connected with this kind of challenges. So I think as an individual, as a faculty, each one of us, this is the opportunity for all of us to make use of this webinar, connect with the different colleges across the world, with the companies, build up our competence in one particular area, and start giving MDP. Start giving MTP, start giving consultancy, start taking guest lectures. No one is stopping. Is it not, sir? Dr. Prasanna, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm listening, sir. Very good suggestion you have given, sir. Yeah.
Thank you so much. See, in US, sir, in US, there is one, sir, in US, there is one term is very popular, and it is called teacherpreneur. Teacherpreneur.
Achha.
Whether each teacher is an entrepreneur or not. I think as a teacher, we all should become an entrepreneur. And let me put it very bluntly, we should not depend only on single source of income, that is the salary.
We can say we are edupreneur.
Is it not, sir?
We are edupreneur, we can say like this, no, sir. Edupreneur. Innovative.
Yes.
Hello.
Thank you so much. That's a wonderful interjection. Now, I think the next question, please.
Hello, sir. Can I
Good evening,
ask a
ma'am.
question?
Good evening.
Yeah. This is the first time I'm listening to this MTC Global FDP. Thank you very much for your valuable suggestions. I have one question, sir, to be asked. See, you were telling about yes, of course, teachers have to be digitally tech enabled, and of course, the students also should be enabled. All those stuff. I agree with your statement, but don't you think that the conventional method of teaching, which we have normally used in the class, with the blackboard and the chalk methodology of teaching, the pedagogy, we had a sort of emotional bonding with the students, is it not? But now with the Zoom meeting and of course the Cisco WebEx and all those stuff, I guess I strongly believe that emotional bonding will not be there with the students. So what is your view upon that? Kindly give some suggestions.
Suganna ma'am is a very senior professor, and with her expertise of years in academics, she raised a very relevant question about emotional bonding. I just tell you one research finding which was done. See, Harvard, they have the edX, and Stanford, they have the Coursera. Now, they have been giving the certification program long time back, okay, not now, due to this situation. And there were a lot of queries whether using this platform, the courses are effective or not. Emotional bonding, I'll come later on. And there was the detailed study of all the students, those who have undergone the courses in Harvard and the Coursera. And it is found out that 75% of the respondents, they said that is more effective than the conventional classroom teaching learning method. Now, why it is like this? Because in this kind of digital platform, there is all possibilities that we can source in the best faculty, the best teachers available anywhere in the world. Number one, that is the big possibilities there. Number two, there are technologies are there wherein we can interact with the teachers very fluently and on the moment, like, okay, on the face to face, even using the technology. So in terms of effectiveness of delivering a particular session, now it will depend. We are talking about higher education or we are talking about the school level education. Now in the primary education, school level educations, I think online teaching learning is not a success. Many international schools, they have given palm top to their students, laptop to their students, and many sessions are being carried out using the palm top and the laptop, but those are not become very successful. There is one school in Bangalore, it is Indus International Schools. They are the first in India which introduced a robot teacher. A robot teacher takes the normal theory classes in the class, because theory classes generally which are normal classes, it conducts 75% of the classes. Question answer is taken by the faculty. Now in terms of effectiveness of delivery of the content, in terms of understanding the concept, in terms of fundamental knowledge on the subject, I think online is as good as offline or conventional method. But having said that, teaching is not only teaching. I think teaching is 15% teaching, 75% is mentoring and counseling. I think you will agree with ma'am. Is it not, ma'am? We have to make that person is a good human being. That cannot happen only with the content.
Yes.
That will happen only when a teacher comes into touch with the students. And that's why we say the teacher is the best role player. Are we the role player? That's also a big question nowadays. People are raising. Today's teachers, my father was a teacher of a primary government school. I have seen so many civil servants, those who have passed out, still they come and touch his feet. So that's the level of integrity and the honesty those people they had, because that time situation may be different. And today's situation is different. There are a lot of challenges at home, at outside, the social, the fabrics have gone under changes. So today the big questions, today's youth, they don't have any kind of good role model. Everywhere that is a big question. Now, one part. What I was talking about, the content is 15%, 75% is the counselor and the mentor. That's why today we say teachers are mentors. Teachers are not just teachers, they teach the content. So mentoring part, until unless we come into contact with the students, I think that can't happen. The emotions can't flow on the internet, on the technology. Is it not, ma'am?
Yes.
That's why scientists and technologists are working. If we cook food here, biryani, can someone get the smell sitting on other side on the internet? That technology is still not developed, and scientists are struggling to do that. We have the telepresence, right? Cisco has the telepresence. You can make feel that the person is sitting in front of you. Like Shanghai airport, they started, it was, that one lady is opening the door and someone went to touch, but that fellow is not able to touch her because that lady is not there. It was using a technology, the telepresence. Right? So technology has developed. Technology has developed, but not developed to that extent wherein we can impart the emotion. Now herein comes the use of artificial intelligence. Ma'am, you know the case of the Sophia, the first citizen robot in Dubai. It works just like a girl. She understands anything. She walks. She gives vote also. Okay, so this artificial intelligence, that's why Microsoft and Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, they are in the opposition to do much work on the artificial intelligence. And they are very much worried if they create a robot or a machine which can also pass the emotions or the passions, what will happen? Like the famous Tamil movie, ma'am, Saliva, that robot. What's the famous Tamil movie? See that how robot. So it is a very dangerous. But as you rightly said, ma'am, I think our presence, even if it is 15% and 20% or 30%, we must meet the students. We must touch them. We must sit in front of them so that some energy get transferred. Right? We all sit together. Energy plays a very important role. It transfers from one body to other body. Is it not, ma'am? So we appreciate, ma'am, very much. Your question is fantastic questions. I think that is the biggest fallout of the online session. Mentoring and counseling is not happening. Emotions are not passing through. And what makes a man a man? The emotions.
Yes.
Otherwise, the man is a robot. Thank you so much. It is a so much good learning from your question. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes.
Thank
Any question, please?
A very good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
Am I
ma'am.
audible?
Uh,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm Dr. Rajeshwari, working as assistant professor in PG Department of Commerce in Mysore.
Thank you, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Okay. Since you were talking about multiple challenges, I have one more. Rather than calling it as a question, I can make it as an issue. Next, the biggest challenge which is in front of all teachers, faculty, or the entire college institution is the admission of the students. So that admission is directly tying and getting integrated with teachers' survival and teachers' salaries and institutional surveillance. So, what do you like to say on this?
Ma'am, I think your concern is the concern for all of us.
Yes, sir.
And that's a very, very relevant question. And I touched that area also. See, in India, all institutions,
Yes.
they all depend on fees income, only from
Yeah.
the student fees, not on non-fees
Yeah.
income. Except the premium institutions, they do a lot of MDP consulting, sponsored projects. Okay, they have the chair professorship and they earn some kind of non-fees income. But leave them, set them aside. They are not the majority, right? So majority
Yeah.
of us depend on only on the fees income. If students are not coming, not joining the program, definitely there will be a lot of challenges for the management to ensure to manage their finances well. And automatically what we'll do, see the cost cutting, the first simple step is cut down the salary, lay off the teachers. That is a simple step. But
Yeah, that's right.
there are many innovative ways, ma'am. If we use a lean manufacturing system, LMS technology in academic institutions, I believe lot of costs we can cut even in normal time as well. See, the existing students, those who are in the first semester, second semester, automatically they will go to the next semester, right? So there is no question of that. So that part of revenue is the fixed. Now only the problem is the freshers. How many students, new students are joining the program, right? So management must be innovative. As I said, can management have a program wherein pay later scheme? You join now, after 3 months you can pay. Can management have that kind of confidence on the students? Or take some kind of agreement with the parents of the students wherein they agree to pay maybe after 3 months or 4 months. And if you say, I don't believe that management, they don't have any reserve and surplus. Okay, all managements, they must have good reserve and surplus and they can sustain for 3 to 4 months, right? But they need to get students. Now, getting students in this difficult time, as I say, see, that's why, ma'am, it's so important that quality in defense. I am from Indian Air Force, right? I worked in 15 years, and everywhere there is a beautiful saying. Okay, fight as you train, or more we sweat in peace, less we bleed in war. Right. So I think the quality parameters, the quality metrics in the peace time, in the normal time, the institutions, those who have maintained these parameters, I think they will sail through this difficult time. Because institution will be, the students will be very, very choosy. At this time, they'll pick up only the good students. And there is some perception also that many students, because their parents' poor financial capabilities, they may not take admission this year, they may postpone to the next year. That's another challenge is coming up. They may look for some job to support their parents. And next year they can take up. Ma'am, this is a very tough time. I think your question is very, very relevant. and so many teachers, they are not got salary, I know,
Yeah.
and many got only 50%. I am aware of the fact because no, in our MTC Global, as I said, we have more than 30,000 teachers and with whom we are interacting regularly and with all sympathy and compassion, ma'am. This is a tough time and tough time needs some kind of innovative solutions and some kind of no out of the way, out of the box thinking. And as an individual also, ma'am, we need to explore no some or other ways so that we can make ourselves self-sustained at least for next 1 or 2 months.
Yes. Yes. Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank
so
you for
much,
your
Sri
suggestions.
ma'am, because your question
Yes.
is such a question. There is no straight,
Yeah.
no answer to this.
I
It's a very
can
tough
understand,
question.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you very much, sir.
thank you. Any questions? So it seems that uh, we are done. If there is no question, and now once again, so we have come to the end of this faculty development program. I thank you, Barrister Sameem Haidar Patwari, the Chairman, Board of Trustee, and my good friend of Dhaka International University. I'm on the advisory board and to jointly launch this particular program. I support all the esteemed delegates, the colleagues, the friends, the peers, whatever name we call it, being part of this session. And I'm happy to share my little knowledge and learn a lot of things from all of you. And this learning will help me to engage the fourth batch we have next week. Continue this FDP program. This has become very popular, it seems. And thank you so much once again. And stay home, stay safe, convey my regards to all the seniors at home and my love and affection to the children at home. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.